This is LinkedIn. I'm logged into my account, so it will be specific to me, some of the aspects of this video, but I will be exploring how you can use LinkedIn when seeking a teaching or administrative position in the international education sector. Now, I'm a big fan of LinkedIn. It's a platform which I use all the time. I use it for looking for potential recruits for my own school, and I also use it as an excellent way to keep an eye on the job market. Right now, I'm not actively seeking, but I'm approaching the end of a second contract in my current school, so I'm looking out there for what jobs might be available as principal or head of school somewhere else in the sector. And then, of course, I have the option of renewing my contract as well. But I'd advise any teacher, any school leader to always keep your options open. And I think the global pandemic has been a real wake-up call for many of us as to how things can change so rapidly in the world these days. So I'm not going to go through the whole of LinkedIn, but I would encourage you to use LinkedIn actively as a teacher or school leader anyway, whether you're looking for work or not. It's one thing which I was taught a while ago when I worked in France by a very close friend of mine who was the communications director. And she said, build your personal brand, because your personal brand becomes transferable. So you'll be working and, I hope, loyal to your employer whilst you're working for them. But it's unlikely you're going to stay working for the same organization throughout your career. So building up your personal brand is essential. So use LinkedIn to share posts, write articles, maybe share videos, and build up in the sector. Now, most of the people who I'm connected to are also in education. So it means that I can see what they're doing, they can see what I've been up to. So it is a great network, and very much focused upon the world of work, which is what I like about it. I use FaceTime, Facebook, WeChat posts, I have my website, but this is the place I go for work-related stuff. So their job section, it's kind of interesting that as much as I love LinkedIn and their raison d'etre is the world of work, I'm not actually a big fan of their job section. So what's good though, it tells me where I could be a top applicant. Interestingly, my former principal, when I worked in France, is the head of school there. If he wants me, he'll reach out to me. I'm not fishing. And these are the jobs which I have come up for potentially being available for, which is useful. The only thing is it makes assumptions about where I might want to work. And as much as I refine my search, you put in a term like principal, and it doesn't necessarily just cope with school principal. You have to be specific, and then if you are very specific, you might lose out on some aspects of what you're looking for. So, deputy head, teacher worldwide, something I've set up already. And you can see you can choose, so that's any time. So, hey, I don't want to have the last day, because I check every day, perhaps. And you'll see that the jobs are global. With me being British, it always highlights stuff in the United Kingdom. And I have an interest, I believe I will possibly return to sub-Saharan Africa one day. But there's lots of jobs in Chinese and in China. Now, one thing I probably think is I may not want my next job to be in China. So I'd want to screen out and filter out jobs which are in Chinese, because certainly I'm not going to apply for them. But because I'm in China, it does tend to prioritize them. Job alert is off because I don't like to be spammed. Going back to the jobs section, you can create searches. So these are the ones which I will have looked at. So you can see it's senior positions would be my particular interest. But let's have a look at something like biology teacher. Probably going to save this now. So when I come back, it's going to be giving me biology jobs. And you can see again, most of these are in the UK. So remote, you go to all filters, put in locations, they tend to be UK focused. Where I want to search globally, and this is just European Union, which came up by default. So let's look for a job as a biology teacher in Thailand. Let's see what we get. Okay, so it's not just biology teachers. These guys advertise everywhere, but they don't reply to you, so I wouldn't worry about them. So you can see recruiters do use LinkedIn to cross-reference their adverts from their own websites. And then if you're more interested, you can get some more information. You can apply through LinkedIn, which is a very good feature because you'll have entered your job history, your educational background already onto your LinkedIn profile. So that can self-populate, which saves you having to write out your whole CV from scratch. Now, whilst I'm on LinkedIn, this is a gripe, but not about LinkedIn, about some schools. It is unnecessary in 2020 to expect applicants to fill in your own application form. It is quite feasible for you to use a CV and a supporting statement. If a candidate doesn't tailor their statement for the particular job, you screen them out straight away. But it doesn't have to be your own headed version, because it takes teachers, school leaders and others a lot of time just to fill in the basics. Job experience, I've been in the game 25 years. So if I was filling it out, it takes a lot of time. Your educational experience and all the other fields it might ask for. So by clicking on apply through LinkedIn, it's a much better way and speeds up the process. Okay, it tells you how many people have applied, and it often tells you your chances of getting the job, which for me would be absolutely zero because I'm not a science teacher. So going back here, you can see though you will be able to save. This one is now saved, and it will then give you information about biology teachers across the world. So I love LinkedIn. Don't get me wrong, it's probably the website I'm on more than any other. But I think the job searching facility could be a little more refined. Maybe it's one of these things that because they're dealing with every industry, that it's not totally specific to the world of education, which is just maybe something we need to accept as teachers and school leaders. But increasingly people are advertising on LinkedIn, and it's probably unwise not to check LinkedIn if you're actually actively job seeking. Different agencies will cross-reference their adverts with LinkedIn, so it does give you a chance of picking up things from agencies you may not be aware of. So I definitely say it's worth signing up for LinkedIn, it's worth being active on LinkedIn, and it's definitely worth utilizing their job section. Now, you may be better at using their job section than me. There may be certain things which I've missed. You know, I'm not that young anymore, and I perhaps missed some of the aspects of searching for things online. So please use the comment box below if you can offer any tips to other people viewing this video who are potentially going to be using LinkedIn. Also, if you like what I've talked about and if you like what I've shared with you, then please like the video at the bottom of the page and subscribe to my channel. And then that way you'll be notified of any future content through YouTube. You won't be spammed into your inbox. So take a look at LinkedIn.